he's going to stay the video on your camera. Okay, there you should see him laying down breathing right now. What we're going to do, just like a normal workout, we're going to do a 5-minute warm-up. We're going to spend some time doing the warm-up. After 5 minutes, me and Nathan are going to walk you through the actual workout. We're going to do a 20-minute circuit. The circuit will have 5 exercises. We'll just have those. There's no finisher in today's program. We do have finishers designed throughout, but this one doesn't have a finisher to it. The workout's meant to be about 30 minutes total. Get you guys on with your day, okay? If you need a few minutes to go ahead and grab yourselves some tools, the main tools that we're going to need today are a bent over row. So a bent over row could use a band. We could use laundry detergent. It's anything you can think of that you can pull towards you when you're bent over. If you don't have anything, that's okay. I have modifications for that. Also, if you have a stick of any nature, a broom or anything of that nature, you're more than welcome, please grab one of those. We can use a band as well for that if we don't have one. That's the main tools we're going to need for today. Pretty simple. I'm going to be walking you through everything. Nathan's going to be our camera. He's going to be demonstrating. I'm going to do all the talking. So all you got to do is you just do the work. I have a timer here as well. Unfortunately, I can't show you guys the timer, but you'll be able to hear the timer as we go through this process. Our warm-up is going to be 30 seconds of work with a 10-second break period. I will keep you guys all muted. That way you don't have to worry about hearing each other's noises. Also, if you want to play some music, you can go ahead and kick on some music at any time. We can't play music on our side because the recordings don't like it. But you're more than welcome to kick on music on your side. I'll unmute you guys at the very end if you guys have any questions, okay? All right, guys, so we're going to start off with our first activity is going to be lying down just like Nathan's doing there. We're doing what's called crocodile breathing. We're going to do 30 seconds of breathing this morning. So laying down, head on our hands. He's concentrating on breathing through his diaphragm, so the muscle right under his rib cage. He's breathing in through there, out through, so in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're gonna start 30 seconds.
Exercise 1.
All right, guys, we're doing 30 seconds of crocodile breathing. In through the nose, about 5 second in, 5 second out. 5 second in, 5 second out.
Three, 2, 1.
All right, guys,
Rest.
next we're going to do lying dynamic black burns. All right, so Nathan's laying right there. What he's going to do is bring his hands out, straight out, and then bring them back
3,
behind him,
2,
then out in front of him again.
1.
So we're just laying in that same
Exercise
position
1.
we're in, and we're just moving our shoulders back and forth. Shoulders back and forth. If you can't get all the way behind your back, that's totally fine. It's a pretty tough shoulder mobility position in the way back. Our goal, though, is just to get those shoulders warmed up a little bit, moving back and forth as much as you can handle.
Three, 2, 1.
And rest. Next, we're going to do some tactical frogs. So on a tactical frog, Nathan's going to go up to his knees. He's going to get them a little bit wide, so a little bit wider than his hips, and he's just going to rock back all the way back, sitting back, and then forward and drop his hips down. So we're going from like a child's pose position to a frog position or a cobra position, all the way up, and leaning, sitting his back butt back all the way, forward and back. Good, guys. Really concentrate on getting that butt as low as possible as you're sitting back. And when you're coming through, try to get those hips to touch the ground if you can.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
All right, next, guys, we're going to do lateral adductor pulses with a rotation. So Nathan, if you want to turn towards me, if you could. There we go.
3,
And what I'm going to do is going to put his one knee down, leg out to the side like a lateral
Exercise
adductor
1.
pulse. And he's going to be rotating with his shoulders all the way up and down. So just having that eyes follow that hand up, come back down. So we're still getting a little pressure against the lateral side, but we're also getting that thoracic rotation in this. It is always good to have like a knee pad if you need one. Always keep one of those with you for any of these workouts we do in the future.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
All right, guys, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to switch knees.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 1.
Begin. All right, guys, got everybody officially signed in. Have the eyes follow that hand all the way to the sky, all the way up. Don't let those eyes leave the top of the hand.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Okay, guys, we're going to do hand walkouts next. So we're going to start in a standing position. We'll come down. We're going to walk all the way out
3,
to a push-up position,
1. Exercise
and then walk
1.
ourselves back. You can add a push-up if you need, but let's walk all the way back. You don't have to, please don't stand up when you get all the way back because we want you to get through a few reps. So just walking back to that butt's nice and high, get those hamstrings nice and long, walking back out. If you're really good at push-ups, you can add a push-up at the bottom. Otherwise, let's just stay in that tall plank position and come back at it. Good, we're starting to get that temperature warmed up a little bit, so we got some mobility going. Now we're trying to get that heart rate elevated a little bit more.
3, 2, 1.
Good, guys, let's go ahead and stand tall. Next, we're going to do a butt kick. So on a butt kick, you can be plyometric, which means that you're kind of running in place like that. Or you can be like more of a butt kick march where you're just moving one leg at a time.
Exercise 1.
All right, begin. All you're going to try to do is kick the butt. Again, if you can't run, that's fine. Just pull the legs up, trying to get the butt to kick the heel to kick the butt as much as possible. Tall chest, always tall chest.
Three, 2, 1.
All right, guys, we're going to do a linear line hop now. So we're going to be jumping forward and back, or we're going to do a two-step shuffle forward and back, okay? So line hop forward and back, or like a mini little two-step shuffle, or like a salsa dance.
Exercise 1.
Okay, we're just moving forward and back, forward and back. Again, you can just do a little shuffle if you need. I know these muscle groups are a little bit tight in the morning. Just be slow and work your way through them. As you start to feel warmer and warmer, go a little bit quicker.
Three, 2, 1. Your timer is complete.
All right, guys, that's a quick little warm-up, 5 minutes, about a minute shorter than our normal warm-ups. What I want you to do next is make sure if you have a water bottle that you grab it and get it somewhere close to you because you're probably going to need it throughout this workout. We're going to do 45 seconds of work today with a 15-second rest period. So they're going to go fly by really quickly, that rest period will. So have your water bottle close to you if you need it. Another thing will be is as we're going through this, if you see a tool you need, go ahead and get that tool. Or during this time, during the demonstrations, if you need to kick on some music, go ahead and kick on some music at this time too. So a little bit of time. It's going to take us about 3 to 5 minutes to go through all the demonstrations. Just catch the parts you can. Nathan's going to be in the screen the whole time, so you can always watch him if you forget which one's which. Okay, so again, this is going to be a 45-second work period, and then you're going to have a 15-second rest period. We're going to go through this for 4 rounds, and we have 5 exercises. So it's very close to, it's 19 minutes and 45 seconds exactly, so it's almost 20 minutes. So the very first position we're going to do is a bent over row. So Nathan has, I don't know where that noise came from. Bent over row. Hang on. Oh, I got it. Sorry, I got to mute somebody. So all he's going to do is bend over at the hips, drive his hips back, and he's just going to pull the laundry detergent toward him, pulling towards his rib cage. This is another good one if you have a band, to use a band instead in this position, okay? So you're just in a bent over position on those bands. They're going to be around your feet. Yep, he's got his wrapped around his feet, and he's just going to pull towards him. You can also make that a single band instead of a double loop if your band's a little too heavy for you. Another option, if that's tough on your lower back, you can wrap them around your feet and pull towards your body in that position right there. Pretty simple, tall chest. He can bend his knees too if that's too tough on your hamstrings, but otherwise we're just being in that pulling position. One last progression we have on this, because some of you guys don't have any weight in general, we're just going to do a plank. Okay, so you just normal plank position, abs tight, holding out that position just in case you don't have anything to pull towards you. A plank's always good. We can always get that core tight. All right, so that's going to be our exercise number 1. Number 2, we're going to do a rear foot elevated split squat. So we're going to show different variations of this, especially if you have less stability issues. But the main thing he's going to do is he needs some type of chair behind him to put that foot onto. And if you're nervous about falling over, don't worry, I have different progressions for you. So first thing, he's got his foot up behind his chair, on his chair, and all he's going to do is tall chest. He's going to let that knee come down towards the ground and come back up, squeezing his glute as he comes all the way back up. If you want to weight it a little bit more, you're more than welcome to keep weight in your hand. It is 45 seconds, so 45 seconds is pretty tough, but you can add that in a little bit of weight in that position. So our modification for that is a split squat. So here's modification number 1. You can use a stick for stability if you need as well, staying in position. From here, he's going to keep that tall chest and taking that knee towards the ground. The big thing we find is making sure that you have at least a foot distance between the end of your heel and your knee. A lot of people get that knee way too close to the heel. And the last thing we have is a single leg glute bridge. So if you can't do any kneeling at all, you have knee issues, we can do a single leg glute bridge. So what he's going to do is get that foot tall, and he's just going to drive his hip up. Okay, so I'll be calling out those different positions. Nathan will be doing different ones throughout the workout. I'll try to call out different ones. If I see you doing one that just doesn't look like it's right, I'll get you in the right position, okay? Next one we're going to do is a stick RDL. So if you have a stick, this is great. If not, I'll show you, we'll tell some different things if you don't have a stick. So he's got a stick. All he's going to do is drive his hips back and then snap his hips up. So think of a kettlebell RDL, but we want to kind of over-exaggerate the hips because we don't have any weight. So we want to really squeeze that glute hard as he comes up. Squeeze. Control back down, going as far as you can go. Come back up. From there, we can also do this with a band. So if you don't have a stick, you can just hold the band straight across like Nathan does, and you just pull tight against that band. You're just doing the same thing with that position. If you don't have any of those things, all you can do is just take your hands and use your hands, pretend there's a stick there and going down as far as you can. There you go, just like that. So you can just pretend that. So there's tons of different ways to do that. Pretty simple. Our goal here is just to get that hip extension position. Nathan's got some weight too. You can weight it, or you can always weight it with a band as well. If you want to put those band around your feet too, you can take the band around your feet. You can make it any progression level you want. It can be a very easy exercise, and it can be a very hard exercise. Next one we have is jumping jacks. So on jumping jacks, just like with jumping jacks, we have tons of variations. That's a normal variation. We have the step jack as well. And we have a march jack. So step jack, one leg at a time, and then a marching jack, you just bring the knees up and march overhead. If you can't take your hands overhead at all, you're just going to cross across your chest. All right, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to do a leg lowering position. So leg lowering, I'm going to show a couple different variations. The hardest one is going to be unassisted. So unassisted means you have no band around your legs. You're just going to drop one at a time. So Nathan's going to drop one leg down, bring it back up, switch the other leg, back down. So this is a pretty tough exercise. If you have a band, you can take a band and put it around one leg, and you keep that one leg in position there, and then you can just drop one at a time. So this is going to be a little bit easier if that one's a little too tough for you. Drop one leg at a time, and then the next round you'll switch legs on that. Okay, guys? All right, everybody looks like they're understanding. I don't see anybody that's completely lost. Yeah, if you need a band or anything, please go grab any of those tools you might need. We're going to get started in about 30 seconds, guys. So what I want you to do is I want you to find a band if you need it, any weights that you need for rowing, and kick on your music. Gonna make sure I get everybody signed in. All right, guys, before I start, anybody got any questions? Just like raise your hand if you have a question. I'm gonna scroll through my list of people. I don't see anybody with their hand up, so it looks like we can go ahead and get this thing started. Make sure you have your water bottle close because we are doing 45 seconds with a 15-second rest period. So this is going to fly by. We have 4 rounds. All right, everybody. Hopefully you have your music going. We're going to get started in 5 seconds. We're starting off with a bent over row, or you can do a seated row as well. Here we go. 45 seconds. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Exercise 1.
Okay, Nathan's pulling towards the bottom of his rib cage on this one. Abs tight. Bending over as much as you can control. We do need to keep the abs really tight to protect the lower back. Good job, guys. Bands are a great one for this too if you have a band, if you don't have any weights. Again, laundry detergent, water bottles, all those things work out really well. Cans of soup might be a little too light. We have 15 more seconds, but anything's better than nothing. 5 more seconds.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
All right, guys, it's going to be a quick transition. We're going to go over to a rear foot elevated split squat, or just a regular split squat, or a single leg glute bridge. Remember, rear foot elevated split squat, he's going to put his foot up. Split squat, he's just going to not have the foot up in the same position.
2, 1. Exercise 2.
Begin, okay? Split squat or single leg glute bridge on the ground, okay? Remember, I can't catch you guys in these videos, so just make sure that you're staying safe. Don't be next to something you could land your head on. Good, looking pretty good. The softer the thing you put your foot into, the little bit harder it's going to be. So if you're putting it into a couch, it's going to be a little bit more advanced than if you put it into something solid because your body's going to have less stability. So you just got to make sure you put plenty of pressure of your foot into that pad to make sure those glutes engage to help you out with a little bit more stability. Regular split squat position, remember just coming up and squeezing the glute nice and tight. Keep that foot in the same position. The feet don't move.
2, 1. Rest.
Rest, guys. Next, we're going to use our stick or our band for some RDLs. You can also use your weights for RDLs too if you need. Anything you want. Main thing is we're looking for is a tall chest and driving your butt back as far as you can.
2, 1. Exercise 3.
Begin. Good. Nathan's driving his butt all the way back, squeezing up. Simple RDL position. The biggest thing we're concentrating on here, the two main parts are that Superman chest. Never let that chest lose its positioning. And number 2 is making sure we're driving that butt back. We're not just bending over. Remember, if you want to have a band around your legs, totally fine in terms of like underneath your feet and you're grabbing a hold of those. Good, guys. Nice tall chest. Everybody's doing great with that. Don't lose that chest position for me. 15 seconds.
Three, 2, 1. Rest.
Rest. Good job, guys. We have jumping jacks next. Okay, so lots of different jumping jack positions. If you guys do find out that you want some bands or anything like that and you need them from the gym, please let me or Nathan know so we can kind of organize that with you.
1. Exercise 4.
Begin. So we can get you guys some weights. We have plenty of weights still at the gym that we can definitely, always have to set up a time that me and Nathan will be somewhere around to get those to you. And we can do step jacks instead if we need, or a marching jack. This is where we're going to get that heart rate up. We don't have a lot of heart rate exercises today. This is our main heart rate exercise. So you really want to try to push yourself as you get warmer and warmer. Really push yourself on these jumping jacks. Five seconds.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
All right, guys, we're going to lay down next. We're going to do some leg lowering. Again, if you want to make it a little less challenging, have that band around your leg. It's not really just a challenging thing. Sometimes if you don't have the hamstring mobility, it helps you get in a good hamstring mobility position.
2, 1. Exercise
Begin.
5.
Otherwise, we're just dropping one leg at a time, trying to keep the leg as tall as possible. Keep those hamstrings nice and flexed. And coming down under control. If you're feeling it in your lower back at all, just don't bring that leg down quite as far. You might have to keep it a little bit higher as you come down if you're feeling it in your lower back. Our goal is to keep those hamstrings nice and long. We have 20 more seconds. You are switching legs if you don't have a band attached. You are switching legs each time. Just up with one, come down with the opposite. Good job, guys. You guys are doing awesome this morning. 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
All right, guys, just one round down already. We're going back into those bent over rows. Bent over rows. Looks like Nathan's getting a little hot already. Go over to those bent over rows. Here we go.
1. Exercise 1.
Begin. Perfect, guys. Pulling towards the bottom of the rib cage. We're trying to squeeze the bottom part of the shoulder blade. So as we're coming down, coming up with that band or those any weight that you're using, try to squeeze that lowest part of the shoulder blades as you're pulling together. We call that the rhomboid area. Trying to get that nice and dialed in. That really helps out with your posture position. And we need a lot of posture work right now that we're sitting a lot. Five more seconds.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
All right, guys, we're going to rear foot elevated split squats on this one next. On the rear foot elevated split squat, remember we're going to put our foot up. If you want to add a little bit of weight, that's good too. If you need to use a stick for stability, don't be afraid to use a stick for stability,
3,
or even something else to touch a couch.
1. Exercise 2.
Begin, have an ottoman close to you, and whatever you need to help you keep a little bit extra stability. Good job, guys. Nice tall chests. feel like I lost Sherry. I can't find her on my screen. So, oh, there she is. "15 seconds.
Three, two, one. Rest.
All right, guys, we're going to do stick RDLs next. Stick RDLs. You can also use a band on this. If you have bands, the band RDL, you just put them underneath your feet. And you just snap those hips tall.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 3.
Begin. We really appreciate you guys coming all clothed today. That's a good start, right? Everybody wearing clothes is always a good start to the day. Good job, guys. A lot of good progressions. I'm seeing everybody's making really good choices. I like the band. Good morning there. Alex, good choice. I like that. 10 seconds.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
All right, guys, we're going in the jumping jacks. This is round 2 of our jumping jacks. If you guys are feeling a little bit warmer, let's try to get those going as fast as possible. I know 45 seconds is a long period of time, but this is really our heart rate spot. Our other ones we're doing not as quick a pace.
1. Exercise 4.
Begin. Not as quick a pace, so this is our chance to really get that heart rate up and elevated. Make sure if you guys are somebody that glides backwards on your jumping jacks, just be cautious. A lot of you guys are close to couches and stuff. Don't trip over the couches. Ten seconds.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Rest. Good job, guys. We're going into leg lowering next. Leg lowering. Laying down. Legs nice and tall.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 5.
Begin. That rest period's getting shorter and shorter, right? Each round is going to feel less and less. I need you guys to really think about the belly button right now. I want you to think about your belly button and take your belly button and drive it into the ground. That's how tight we have to squeeze our abs. We want to take that belly button and drive it into the ground, holding that core really tight. That's going to protect the lower back, as well as it's going to turn on the pelvic floor and allow you to get a better range of motion out of your hamstrings. Take that belly button and squeeze it hard. We call it drawing in that belly button. 10 seconds.
3, 2, rest.
Rest, guys. All right, we're going into round 3. We're at that halfway point, guys. Good job. Remember, there's no finisher after this, so just give your maximum effort for the next 2 rounds.
3, 2,
Bent over rows. Bent over rows.
Exercise 1.
Begin. Think about your posture on this. Superman chest, pulling towards the bottom of the rib cage. Bottom of the rib cage. Ten seconds. Good. Anita, stay bent over. Don't come too high, okay? Stay bent over. There you go.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Rest. Good job. Next, we're going to go to rear foot elevated split squat, or a split squat position. Remember, you can also go down to the ground if you're struggling with this one a little bit and do a single leg glute bridge.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 2.
Begin. 20 seconds. Make sure you concentrate on that chest position. Don't start to cave over at the hips. You got to keep that chest tall so that way that pressure stays in the glute instead of in the hamstring and that front hip.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
All right, guys, stick RDLs. Everybody's looking a little tired in their videos. It means we're doing some good stuff. Maybe if you have a band for this one, definitely use a band.
3,
you can use your weights too.
1. Exercise 3.
Begin. Drive those hips all the way back. Remember we talked about shutting a car door, right? You want to take that button, drive that car door shut. Punch it backwards, and then drive those hips forward. Punch it backwards, drive those hips forward. As we come up every single time, good posture, shoulders back, down and back, hips coming through. Five seconds.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Jumping jacks.
Three, 2, 1. Exercise 4.
Begin. Good speed. We're on that round 3, so we want to be moving quickly through these. Even if we're doing step jacks, try to get leg to leg quick, side to side. You guys are doing great.
Three, 2, 1. Rest.
All right, guys, leg lowering, lying down. Legs
3,
tall.
2, 1. Exercise 5.
Begin. We're trying to stay as tall as possible with those legs. We want to keep the hamstring as long as we can get, long as we can get. Guys are doing pretty good. I see some hamstrings getting a little tight. Do your best to try to keep them long.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Rest. Good job, guys. We're going in that final round. With those hamstrings, as you're starting to lose your hamstring mobility, don't be afraid to use the bands to keep those hamstrings long. We want to try to keep them as long as possible. All right, we're going to
3,
bent over row, bent
2,
over row. Last round.
Exercise 1.
Begin. Make sure we're doing a row position. We're pulling those elbows up. Row, row, row your boat. Or pull, row, pull, row. Don't get your heads moving too much. Some of you guys are dipping those heads a little bit. Keep those heads steady. And just concentrate on that pulling position of the hands to the rib cage. Hands to rib cage. Nothing else should be moving but the hands into those rib cage.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
All right, guys. Next, we're going to go to rear foot elevated split squat. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, last round, add a little bit of weight. You can always add a band to this. If you have really good stability, you can put a band
3,
around like a front squat
2,
position.
1. Exercise 2.
Begin. But you got to make sure you have good stability to add anything resistant to it. Oh, almost had a chair go down. Just so you guys know, the workouts today are the same all day long. So if you want to catch a double later in the day, it's going to be the exact same workout at 5 p.m. So I wouldn't recommend doing that because we're trying to keep that, we don't want to overdo any muscle groups, but there are workouts all week long, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. You can catch any of those you want or as many of those as you want.
2, 1, rest.
All right, guys, we're going to go from there to stick RDLs. The class times will be the same Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Saturday we have one class at 9 a.m., but we can handle a lot of people on, we can handle up to 100 at a time on here. So
2, 1, exercise 3.
Begin. When in that final round, those hamstrings should be feeling pretty loose right now. Maybe the lower back's a little bit tight, but the hamstring should be a little loose right now. So if you can, try to really get that good depth out of that hamstring position, driving those hips way back, squeezing through. This is usually when my hamstrings are finally, after about 4 rounds, are finally getting loosened up so I can do this movement. So you're going to find that little bit more range of motion. Take advantage of it. Get that full, nice stretch. Squeeze those glutes through. It's okay not to be going the fastest on some of these exercises. Some of them are just about getting that really good technique. We're trying to clear up some patterns from sitting all day long.
3, 2, 1, rest.
All right, guys, we have on those jumping jacks, we're down to 2 exercises left. Based on my timer, I'm on the right pace. Sometimes I get mixed up on exercises, so we're doing good so far.
3, 2, 1, exercise 4.
Begin. Based on seeing some of you guys' faces, it looks like this workout's getting a good start today. See a little, I can't really see sweat, but I can see people wiping their faces, which means that we're sweating just a little bit. On different days, you'll catch different ones working out. So 6 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday, Nathan will be working out, and Tuesday, Thursdays, I'll be doing the workout and Nathan will be talking. So you hear different of us talking, a little bit different styles. We'll start to figure out which one of us you really like, depending on which videos you show up to. So 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Rest. Good job, guys. We have our final position, leg lowering. Again, if your hamstrings are feeling super tight and you need a little help, don't be afraid to use the band across your legs. Otherwise, we're in that unassisted position, legs tall. You need a little bit more stability. Take your hands out a little bit wider as well.
2, 1. Exercise 5.
Begin. The wider your hands are, the more stability you get out of the position. You can take that belly button and drive it into your body. Core tight, up and down. "15 seconds, we're done, guys. Nice one to end on. Just concentrate on that lower back position, keeping everything nice and tight. 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1. Your timer is complete.
That's it. You guys are done.